Blade Brown is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, a trapper's favorite trapper. But how did he transition from the streets to being one of the most successful and well-respected on the mic and in business? This is how you make it as a well-respected UK rap figure with Blade Brown. This is Dirty Culture, a channel creating videos around culture, documenting stories in music, art and fashion, and dedicated to documenting stories and moments in culture and sharing opinions. Today we take a dive into what has made Blade Brown so successful. So please kick back and enjoy the video. Blade Brown was born in the mid-80s and is from South London, originally from Streatham and moved to Clapham. Growing up, he listened to a mix of UK rap including Rodney P and Scheme, and US rap like Jay-Z, Young Jeezy, then eventually Gucci Mane, who became one of his major influences.
You take things out of everything. I was saying this earlier, like, people wouldn't know, like, obviously I've said on social media loads of times, on Twitter, whatever, that Gucci Mane was my favourite rapper, but I don't think people understand that, like, how much he influenced me as an artist. Because
Gucci,
yeah, because it's like, I would listen to his music and I would hear what he's talking about, and he's just talking about trapping, like every song from top to bottom, the tape, and I'm like, you can actually just do that if you want to do that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Instead of trying to let me make a song about this, let me make a song about that.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, yeah, I like listening to this. I can listen to a whole tape from top to bottom, and then another one and another one. This is what I like. This is the music I'm gonna. Do you know what I mean?
Subject matter in the music was important. This is what Blade took on board on how to hone his craft, being influenced by Gucci Mane in particular, as the trap sound and raps gravitated to him. He also realised that you can create music and build a hardcore following like Gucci surrounding one subject. His first mixtape, Nothing Long, was released in 2004, featuring D.E.E, G-Fresh, Corey Johnson and Flips, and along with DVD appearances like Street Selected, Streets Incarcerated, DVDs that were heavily influenced by the States, he began to build a buzz on the streets and develop his own sound via the feedback. Nothing Long Part 2 was on the cards, but it never saw the light of day. Although he released videos and tracks in anticipation of the release, his next move would still be a big one. Even though Nothing Long Part 2 never saw the light of day, Blade was still dropping tracks and hood videos in the interim, building on what he had started, as he was gaining fans and building traction. Innovation and collaborations hit different during this era. Yes, the rap scene had been around for a long time, but the road rap and trap rap brought a new energy to the UK. I've always been a fan of seeing my favourite artists on the same tracks, but those full project collaborations are another sort of hype, something that the streets would always love. Fellow South London native Giggs released his first tape in 2005, but had a total of 4 tapes under his belt and was hot on the streets, just like Blade. And in 2007, he hit up Blade on MySpace, as he was really into Blade's movement. Something he would start to do often as he was plugged into the streets, the UK rap scene and music in general. From this, in 2007, the legendary mixtape Hollow Meets Blade was born, an instant classic, a tape that still gets mentioned and played to this day. They've both been asked countless times if there would be a sequel, which has never had a negative response, but we're still waiting on if the time will ever be right. Consumers and fans were and still are hungry for full project collaborations, whether it's with buzzing up and coming artists trying something new or established artists alike. It's something that can definitely build up the profile of both artists and can also create big moments, and it did for both of them. They ended up selling thousands of units independently in a space when it was record shop drops and hand-to-hand mixtape selling. Getting calls for restocks and represses at the height of the hype. That's all well and good and in the moment, but where do you take this energy?
Early, I've always sold my mixtapes.
Yeah.
I never really have done 3 mixtapes ever.
Yeah.
But like, it's when I kind of like, I would say probably when I done Hollow Man Meets Blade with Giggs.
That's where I first heard about you.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the time when I was like, yo, you can actually make money, because that sold thousands and we didn't even push it, promote it properly.
Yeah.
We just done a video here, dropped it here. This is like MySpace days, do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's like, it sold. Like, and these are the days when there was more like actual UK record shops that actually sold. Like, they're all kind of gone now. Do you understand? But
Of course.
the shops were like calling me every second. Can we have more? Can we have 50 more? Can we have 100 more? Can we have 200 more? Selling all the time. So that's when I was like, yo.
Now that Blade had more of an understanding about the music landscape and the ability to generate income from self-made projects, if you put that work in, Blade went to work on creating and building his solo projects. It's believed that Nothing Long Part 2 was scrapped, as there were tracks that had videos promoting the project. For his second solo tape, he dropped a Best of Blade Brown tape in 2009, something that artists at the time were doing, including gigs, putting together popular freestyles and loose tracks onto one CD. Something that could work in today's landscape, but maybe in a different format. Playlists or video compilations is something that could be a viable option. In 2010, Blade Brown released the first in a certified classic series, Bags and Boxes, a mixtape series that solidified the trap rap sound that Blade has become synonymous with, and has made him a pioneer in the trap and UK rap sound. Bags and Boxes featured his longtime collaborator, Femme Fell, Gigs, Young's Teflon, and more, and also saw the innovation in music videos, taking the track Speechless over to Jamaica for the visuals. Femme v Blade was his next project. It was only right as they were frequent collaborators. And then next up was Financial Times, released in March 2011, a mixtape that was created much different to his previous mixtapes, as it was with a production team, Hill Productions. This definitely worked, as Financial Times went on to gain #2 spot on iTunes and won Best Hip Hop Mixtape and Mixtape of the Year at the official Mixtape Awards, and is an amazing project.
Nah, it's pretty much the same formula. Do you know what I mean? I would say the only mixtape that I'd ever made completely differently to the rest of them is Financial Times, because with Financial Times, it was literally, I made it with a production team.
Right.
So we're making it I'm half of the time I'm writing as they're making the beat. That's why it's a lot of people's favorite tape, because I think like that sonically and musically, like I feel you can tell that we're all on one, we're all in tune. We was all in tune when that was being made. But
producing his favorite song, Don't You Ever Go, which is also mine, after sitting in the room from the same project. Bags and Boxes 2 and 3 were released in 2012 and 2014 respectively, with Bags and Boxes 3 charting on the official UK album charts at number 42, beating out other label-funded artists releasing at the same time. Then in August 2019, after a 5-year hiatus, coming back and dropping Bags and Boxes 4 with Catalyst Management and charting at number 12 in the official UK charts, with the single Joints charting at number 70. An amazing feat which goes to show the core fan base Blade had built. Blade is also one of the first, if not the first, to build a brand out of a mixtape series. He made t-shirts with the words Bags and Boxes on. Then he elaborated on that, as he was always into fashion, creating the more subtle logo of BXB London, creating a clothing brand that everybody could wear, and has dropped its own pieces and collaborated with other brands including Trapstar. Whether directly or indirectly, he used the momentum he built and the core audience he created to continue the growth and build. In doing so, he created a personal brand that has stood the test of time. Although Blade admits one of his weaknesses is inconsistency, maybe he realised that he could have been a lot further along if he put his head down and focused just on the music. But it really didn't make a difference. Quality vs quantity comes up here in this aspect of creating. Quality works for some with a not so regular output, but vice versa also works for others. It's how you cultivate it that matters. Blade is an artist who you can see as a perfectionist. You can see how he meticulously crafts his visuals and is happy to scrap things if they don't fall in line with his vision. That can be one reason why he takes his time. Although I don't believe in perfectionism at a general level, as you can't be perfect for everyone, but being a perfectionist for yourself makes sense, as things have to be perfect just for you. The only thing here is that you have to try to avoid getting stuck in a cycle of continuously hating your own work.
Impact of this one, having been off for 5 years, because there's so many new fans to UK rap as well. They might not know who Blade Brown is.
They might not know or might not connect with them, but I wouldn't say nervous. I never really get nervous because I always kind of follow the same pattern, which is when I'm making music, I make songs that I like.
Right.
And that I when I've recorded it, I'm in my car playing it all day.
Yeah.
On repeat consistently, playing it like someone else's song that I would love. And until I've got a whole CD full of those, I won't put it out. And I feel like my judge of music is good because other people over the years have liked it. So if I like it, I just feel like I have confidence in it. You can.
One thing Blade has managed to sustain through what he has built is balancing life and music. The quality of the music created a high demand, so regardless of when he took breaks and for how long, when he returned, he always had a lot of support ready for that new project. And one of the reasons this stuck was his authenticity. From the jump, Blade Brown's works have been like Hood Diaries. The tracks painted pictures of the trap house and the gritty streets. And when you saw his interviews and freestyles, you could trust that he was telling the truth. Through the company he kept, the car he drove, and the clothes he wore, you could trust in him. And that's what the core fans loved, and what made new fans gravitate to him. So finally, if you follow Blade's journey and listen to him speak about his past and his influences, he takes them very seriously, taking elements from his influences and fusing them together to help build his own profile. There's no half-stepping. Blade has been fully independent up until working with Catalyst, the management team, on Bags and Boxes 4 and onwards. He's had no manager and has organised all of Blade Brown's plays in the industry himself. From trips abroad to film these game-changing music videos, linking with artists for features and cameos, marketing the right way with his clothing and branding, and creating all his tours at the start. If you're an artist trying to make it, you need a plan. Mapping out how you would like to see yourself in the future, what people and brands align with your vision, and in the long term, what brands you can create or invest in. At this point, you don't need a machine behind you if you're willing to put in the work, although that might not work for all. Blade has been a businessman from the start, and when he came into the music scene from early, he built his brand BXB, which has become a company that houses clothing, BXB London, which up until this year is still doing collaborations. The last one being Trapstar, a long-time collaborator, in February 2024. Then he has his BXB private members clubs in Ibiza and Barcelona under the BXB umbrella. And around 2022, he became an investor in the tequila brand Don Londres with Dre London. Along with this, he is an avid watch collector and takes time curating investment pieces. Blade Brown is one of very few who has been able to transcend across different eras and leave a legacy that up-and-coming artists can be inspired by. The one thing that we haven't had from him yet is an album. The crazy thing is that as much as I want to see that happen, I wouldn't mind if it didn't, just because of all of the classic material he has dropped already. But let's stay patient and wait and see, because actually, I really would like to see an album. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. I thought I'd try something new. I'm still early in my journey and experimenting. Next, I'll be looking to do a video in the fashion or art space. So please let me know in the comments any suggestions you would like to see me do next. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment and share. And watch this next video YouTube has suggested. Thank you.